Leza live on the news, 103.5 FM KYCA, the first day of June. Boy, don't blink. Christmas will be here before we know it, right? We've got a couple of guests right off the bat this morning. I say guests. They're not really guests. One owns the joint and the other has been here for how many years, John Rust?
30.
30 years. So they're not really guests. They're staples. Jason's in Zaletta in as well.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
It's your show.
Well, I'm glad that you consider that you're happy to be here.
I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. Yeah.
Good. Well, we're glad that you guys are here this morning. I guess Jason has a big announcement that he wants to share.
Okay, might as well.
Yeah.
Because here at the station, we're just happy to be here,
We
right?
really are.
You know,
We're a bunch of kids running a radio station.
that's right. So anyway, the latest edition of Prescott Now came out today.
Oh, wow.
And it is the announcements of the Best of Yavapai.
Best of Yavapai, everybody. You probably saw it on social media. You could vote for your favorite of just about everything in Yavapai County. Lots of categories.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Was there a category on glass shops, I do believe?
There is. There's a category for glass and mirror, and Prescott Glass and Mirror came in first place, which really doesn't, it shouldn't surprise me.
Oh, no.
This business has been in business since 1927 in downtown Prescott. Now, of course, Scott and I didn't own it back then.
I was going to say, Scott doesn't look a day over I'm not going to say it, Scott. Not a word.
Yeah. Longest running glass shop in the area, and we're very proud to own it, and we're really proud of our team.
Very much so.
Yes,
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Well, I just happened to turn over to Arts and Entertainment winners, and I am very proud of the fact that under radio personality, all 3 spots were taken by KYCA, a clean sweep. Of course, as usual, Ms. Dandos right at the top. Leza Live. Thank you, Leza, for everything you've done here. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you, Jason. I've had a good time.
It's been fun.
Yes.
I don't know who's in second place. I can't quite pronounce that word.
Might be Jason Zaletta.
It might be, but I'm not sure. Well, let's just say I always got my mail when I was growing up.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how the last name is spelled.
I know that feeling.
We got our mail. And
Yeah.
number 3 is John Rust, third place.
Johnny Wet Metal. Ooh.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations to everyone.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know what this means? People are listening. And
That's
that's a great thing. Being part of a talk station has been just a joy. It's so much fun. I barely listen to music on the radio anymore. I know that shocks John over here because he's a metalhead and Matt as well. But talk radio is where it's at, people.
That's
News
right.
Talk.
Well, I just want to congratulate you and John. And, okay, I'm happy to be on the list, but honestly, I'm happy for the station.
Yes.
Because we have done a fantastic job all around, and this includes everybody.
Right.
But, Leza, so thrilled to see you at the top of the list again.
Well,
Really.
I appreciate it so much. How nice is it to be acknowledged for what you do every day, and it's a really fun job, and I appreciate that.
Now wait a minute, I give you plenty of appreciation.
Oh yeah, right. He barely says hello to me in the morning.
No, most mornings. Now there are the occasional mornings when I really think of you.
Yeah.
I walk by and they say, "Well, you're not fired yet."
Yeah, exactly. He does. He reminds me of that. We just about got fired last week or the week before, though, because Matt over here said Cinco Cities, and I said you can't say that on this station.
What did he
I
say?
didn't say
Said
Cinco.
Cinco Cities. Remember, that's the one thing that you told me. He's like, that's the one thing you can't say on the radio.
I heard that when you were at the other station, and I was, oh my goodness gracious. Okay.
It's alliteration for the radio. That's
I
all it is.
realize
Rolls
that.
off the tongue, right, John?
If you say so.
Yeah.
A pro can pull it off. So you do. So there.
you're sweet.
All right. Just wanted to say that, and thanks to everybody who voted for all of us.
Yes.
The station finished in third place behind Jack and KDDL, who are great stations too.
Yes.
Very thrilled to be on the list, and very thrilled for all 3 of us to win. So
Absolutely.
congratulations to you guys, and well, I'll just say happy, joy for me too.
Okay.
So as long as
Congratulations.
once I figure out how to spell my name. Obviously I don't.
Well, why don't you tell us all how you actually do spell your last name.
Well, there's 20 letters. A couple are silent. There's a Q in there somewhere. I'll tell you what. We'll discuss it later. How about that?
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, folks.
We also want the origin of your last name. Carol Chamberlain is actually going to be interviewing our fearless leader coming up on Thursday. Carol is going to be sitting in for me as the host of Leza Live, and Jason's going to be her guest. It's a day in the life of a general manager of a radio station.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
I'm
so
bored already.
We're going to learn so much about Jason. Just you wait. Carol's got some really tough questions. You better start studying.
You know, Carol? No, I can't say she's fired. No, I can't.
No, really, you can't say she's fired. You don't pay her, Jason, so.
I'm sorry. All right, everybody's going to get an education on Thursday, me included.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, since Johnny Wet Metal is in, we might as well just head straight to the Monday morning quarterbacking. Which you bring us every Monday morning. Yes.
Yes, and even though school is out, there's still plenty of sports to talk about.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I got to talk about a very tragic situation that I think most sports fans have already heard. Claude Lemieux.
Yes.
Great NHLer, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, former Phoenix Coyote. He played for the Coyotes in 2000, 2003. He unfortunately passed away last week at the age of 60 by suicide.
Yeah.
Tragic
sad.
story. And honestly, one of my all-time favorite interviews. Since I've been doing this, I actually got to interview Claude Lemieux years ago when the Sundogs were here. He was in town training with them for his comeback, and Claude Lemieux. For hockey fans, you knew he was one of those guys. You hated him when he was on the other team. Yeah. You loved him when he was on your team. He was just a professional agitator. But in fact, he was a guy who single-handedly started the Red Wings Avalanche rivalry back in the late 90s. But when I interviewed him, he was the most chill, accommodating guy you can imagine. And the funniest thing was, one question I asked him was, Claude, there was a poll that came out, the most hated NHL players in history. You were number one on the list.
Wow, isn't that something?
And I was like, so what are your thoughts on that? And he was just so laid back with his answer. He's just like, well, I just go out and do my job. And some people, they just, think a different way of it. What are you going to do? So, rest in peace, Claude Lemieux. Just a great player for the NHL.
Well, and I read over the weekend that his family has donated his brain to CTE research.
Okay.
Because, back then when he was hot, he played hard, and there's been a lot of things. Mateo, my son-in-law, was explaining to us that, they didn't have the concussion protocol in effect back then like they do now. They're so careful and cautious. It'll be interesting to see what they learn, and hopefully they'll learn something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So just great memories there interviewing Claude Lemieux. And, of course, over the weekend, Northern Arizona Wranglers, they were actually down in Glendale. In fact, I was around that area Saturday because I stayed overnight in Phoenix and went over to Wildlife World Zoo to hang out there for a few hours.
Nice.
I had an enjoyable time there. The Wranglers did not have a very enjoyable time in Glendale.
No.
They lost to the Arizona Rattlers 56-32
Ouch.
Saturday.
I was afraid to ask. I was afraid to look it up because, my cohort over here.
You're welcome.
He's a rattler. He's a rattler, so I was waiting for him to rub it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go?
It was, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very long first half.
Yeah.
And it was tied, and then we ran away with it in the second half.
Yeah.
You
saying we, meaning
the Rattlers.
you.
Yeah. I got my job done. They got their pictures, and then they had their jersey auction as well. So it was a late night for me on Saturday.
I bet. So when's the next Wrangler game at home? Do you know?
Yeah, actually, it's coming up this Sunday. They will be in town against the Vegas Nighthawks.
All right.
That's Nighthawks with a K.
Okay. Thank you. Well, everybody, get on out there and support our Wranglers. They need a little love right about now.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Also, want to say best of luck to former Bradshaw Mountain Boys basketball player Cam Raniker. He signed to play at Mesa College next season.
Fantastic.
Yes. So best of luck to him. Also, we got to do a little welcome aboard. Welcome aboard to Cass Rodriguez. She has been named the new head coach for the Prescott softball team, taking over for Randall Brine, who's been there for a decade and decided that this was his last year and has retired.
Well, welcome.
Yes. And as a Sun Devil, you're going to like this. Yesterday was the elimination game in the Lincoln Regional of the College Baseball World Series, and ASU knocked off Nebraska 11-8.
Nice, 11-8. ASU.
All the U of A people are cursing you, but you don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah. All right. And then, of course, well, we got to end it with more culinary craziness from the sports world.
What do you have for us, Johnny?
Okay, this week we're heading to the NFL.
Okay.
In fact, we're heading to SoFi Stadium,
all right,
the home of the Los Angeles Rams. Now, we've already talked about the slugger dog from the Dodgers. We've talked about the daddy back dog from the Astros.
Right.
How about the Stromboli dog?
What the heck is Stromboli?
You know what Stromboli?
Drew? A pasta dish?
No, it's like a pizza dough that's wrapped with that you can put vegetables in it and like kind of like a little mini stuffed pizza.
Like a
you
panini? Like a panini?
No, that's a sandwich.
What's the other one? A calzone. Thank you.
Yes.
Kind of like a calzone.
You took that right off.
But the internals are different.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't put vegetables in them.
Okay.
Yeah,
It ruins everything.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, again, it's a
the
Stromboli dog.
So obviously you have a hot dog inside the Stromboli.
Okay.
Along with pepperoni.
Okay.
And provolone cheese. And on the side you get some marinara dipping sauce.
Okay. I like all of it but the hot dog.
You know, I'm a boring guy with hot dogs. I just like a hot dog with mustard. But you know what? I would try this.
You would try this.
I would try
Okay.
it. I would definitely try it.
Matt, would you try it?
Do you even have to ask?
Well, that's true. Drew, do I even have to ask there either?
I
He's
did
ordering
a
one.
little research there. Okay?
Yeah.
The difference between a calzone and a stromboli.
Yes.
One uses a heavy cream and ricotta cheese.
Oh.
And so you can put that in with your hot dog, and that makes your stromboli.
That makes a Stromboli.
Yes.
Okay, I think I would order mine without the hot dog.
All right.
I think the hot dog would just it doesn't
If
fit.
it had an Italian sausage
Then
in it,
you're talking.
See, now we're talking.
Then you're talking.
See, but now we're more towards the calzone.
Yeah.
And, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
all right.
if you want to get it, if you're at SoFi and you want to get it, it's $15.
Oh,
Actually, not bad.
That's
for
reasonable.
food. Yeah.
No, that is not reasonable.
Stop it. Quit talking about your $3 Costco hot dog and drink.
$1.50.
For
How dare you.
Considering a soft drink is $7 there,
Right.
and a hot dog is 12. Stromboli at 15
is a good deal.
Probably not a bad deal.
Yeah. And you know what? Not a bad calorie count either. It's only 1,000 calories, so good for a splurge day. You do a little extra walking during the week, boom, you burn it off.
There
All
you
is
go.
good.
Look at you, Johnny Wet Metal. Thank you for joining us with your Monday morning quarterbacking here on Leza Live.
Thank you, number one, Leza Live.
Thank you. You're welcome, number 3, Johnny Wet Metal.
Wow.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, as John leaves us this morning, we have some things to talk about as far as the month of June. New month for us, and some new things to look forward to. In sports, the Stanley Cup finals start tomorrow. The NBA finals get going on Wednesday. The French Open tennis tournament runs through June 7th. The FIFA World Cup gets underway on June 11th, and the U.S. team takes on Paraguay on the 12th. Now, golf's U.S. Open is June 18th through the 21st. Can't wait for that. And the UFC White House event, which is called UFC Freedom 250, is going down on June 14th. Now, the official first day of summer is coming up on June 21st, and that also happens to be Father's Day this year. So, 2 things to look forward to on the 21st. A ton of movies are hitting theaters, Maddie. Masters of the Universe comes out this Friday, and so does Scary Movie 6. Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day will be released on the 12th. Toy Story 5 is out June 19th, and Supergirl and Jackass Best and Last both hit theaters on the 26th. Are you planning on seeing any of those movies?
Some of them, yes.
Yeah, some of them.
Not all of them, but
some of them. Okay,
yes.
okay.
And the audience will have to tune in to hear which ones.
Okay, there we go. There's a little teaser for you.
Yep.
That's why we're pros, right there.
And I'll just put it this way. The one this Friday is not what everybody would think.
I think you're going to see Scary Movie 6.
Okay, well, fine. Then it is the one you think.
I think you told me last week.
Did I?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
I probably did on Friday. Yeah.
Yep. On TV and streaming, new seasons of America's Got Talent and Love Island hit NBC and Peacock tomorrow night. Season 5 of Sweet Magnolias comes to Netflix on June 11th. We have Season 3 of House of the Dragon will be on HBO on the 21st. Season 2 of the live-action Avatar, The Last Airbender, hits Netflix on June 25th. And the 5th and final season of FX's The Bear will be out on, will premiere on June 25th, which I'm looking forward to. Did you watch that series?
Of course.
I love those. How about you?
No.
No? Oh, you should watch it.
All
Yeah,
right.
Drew.
Yeah, you should watch it. Very good. Very good. All
I'll
right.
put it on my list of movies like you do.
Yeah. I've got a long list, Drew. A long list. Most of the ones you've recommended are on that list. Yeah. If you're into award shows and music specials, there are a few that should be on your radar. The 79th Tony Awards on June 7th. We have the BET Awards on June 28th and CMA Fest, which will air on ABC June 25th and Hulu the following day. Now, finally, the holidays, which are our favorite, right? We love our daily designations, which, by the way, I did not look up this morning. Sorry, I failed you. The big ones are, of course, Father's Day on the 21st, Juneteenth on the 19th. Also, it's Pride Month, and we're gearing up for America's big 250th birthday in July. Few more. These are the kind we like. It's National Best Friends Day on June 8th. We'll be sure to celebrate that one because we're all best friends.
You're calling me your best friend?
Well, you called me yours, so there we go.
Sweet.
It's Flag Day on the 14th, and the 19th is National Martini Day. We need Kelly Tolbert to put that on her calendar. National Martini Day. And National Selfie Day is June 21st. So there you go. Do you see our guests out there yet?
I do not.
Okay.
But I only see the chairs right here.
Okay.
Drew?
Okay. Let's take a break then, and when we
His
come back,
mic's off.
more here on Leza Live. Stay with us. If you have authentic Native American estate or vintage jewelry tucked away in a drawer, Black Arrow Native American Jewelry and Art in Prescott specializes in reviewing and purchasing select estate and vintage pieces with fair, knowledgeable pricing. If you're considering selling, the easiest first step is to email them at sales@blackarrowgallery.com. They'd like you to send them clear photos. After reviewing your images, they'll contact you to schedule a private appointment at the gallery. Whether it's a family heirloom or a hidden treasure, let your jewelry tell its story. Visit Black Arrow Native American Jewelry and Art in downtown Prescott or online at blackarrowgallery.com. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM KYCA, fresh off of a fabulous weekend. Let's talk a little bit about the weather, because I don't think it could have been any better than it was this past weekend, Drew. And we're hoping that you have good news for us, that it's going to continue throughout the week.
Well, your wish is my command.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. If you really like the weather over the weekend, well, you're going to really like the next few days.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Sunny, light winds, high of 86 today. Tonight, clear, light winds with a low of 53.
Okay.
And then for Tuesday, we go up to 88. On Wednesday, 89.
Woo! It's getting warm.
Yeah, and we're going to be looking at 90s by the end of the week.
Okay, well, good news for me. I will be on the beach in Southern California, so
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. So when it heats up here, I'm going there.
Well, remember, as a native and somebody who lived in San Clemente for 27 years.
That's right, June gloom.
June gloom.
I knew
so
what you were gonna
hopefully
say.
you do not get that.
Yeah.
You could miss it.
Well,
okay?
you know what? I don't mind June gloom, because that just means it's cool. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I don't mind it at
we
all.
had gray May,
Yeah.
June gloom.
Yeah. Well, my daughter and her husband got married on the beach in Carlsbad, California 4 years ago, coming up on the 24th. And we were worried about June gloom, but it was just gorgeous. Yeah, it was just a gorgeous, gorgeous week. So, all right, so there you go. That's what we have coming up for weather. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate that. And I want to hear what you guys did over the weekend. I know that you worked at the Rattler game. How was your weekend, Drew?
My weekend was wonderful.
Yeah.
Got a lot of stuff done. Jamie was quite busy. Got a little riding in, worked on some bikes.
Perfect.
It's the beginning of the month, so I got to go through all my OCD, change all the filters, get all that stuff done. Wash the dog.
Right.
I had to take care of my little girl there.
Yes.
And
Good.
had to put her pool together so she could go and splash and
Right.
yeah,
Right.
She's a bonehead.
You know what's so funny is that last summer it was all about the dogs. When the kids came up, we've got Delaney and Mateo's Maple,
Right.
and we have Dempsey and Jake's Penny, and then we have my Bubba and Teddy. And so last summer put up the pool. The dogs are playing in the water. This summer it's all about the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We've got lots of
as it should be.
Yes, we had lots of baby cuddles and coos, and you'll do anything to make her smile, just tons of fun with my granddaughter Lucy this weekend. And we had family over on Saturday night for dinner, family over on Sunday night for dinner. So lots of celebrating at our house.
Yeah, this was a good week. I mean, a lot of good sports going on.
Yeah.
I mean, you had.
Well, I don't know, because we didn't watch anything but the baby. So I
Well,
don't.
for some of us, there was the.
Motorsports.
Yeah, we had the Cracker Barrel 400 out of Nashville.
Okay.
Which was surprising because they'd go in the stands and there's all the country and western singers.
That's cool.
They're out there.
That's cool.
That was going on. You also had basketball and the opening of the
Game
motocross
7.
season.
Yeah.
So that happened, and
Yeah.
all the other stuff. Plus around town, downtown was packed.
Well,
there was nothing. Not that they have to have something going
right,
on, but
right.
it was just busy downtown because it
Yeah.
was so nice.
Yes, beautiful, just beautiful. Well, you know what? Let's take another break. When we come back, we are going to talk with Prescott Fire Chief Holger Dura, and I think he brought along with him Division Chief and Fire Marshal Anthony Valdez. We're going to talk about the wildfire season that we are currently in. I guess all year round now anymore, and get some information from these chiefs coming up here on Leza Live. Stay with us right now. At the end of the day, we all want the same things, right? We want to protect our family. We want our homes to last. We want to feel good about the choices we're making every single day. And that's exactly why I'm excited to tell you about H2O Health and Water Solutions. Their whole home water filtration system doesn't just make your water taste better. It protects your family. It protects your skin and hair, your pipes, your appliances. The list goes on and on and on. And here's what really got my attention. Most people don't realize there's a water issue until they start seeing buildup, dry skin, appliance wear, or plumbing problems. Why wait for that? Be proactive and give H2O Health and Water Solutions a phone call. You can make an appointment, take in some water, let them test it for you. The number is 928-899-7504, or you can just stop into the store. They're located in the Pine Ridge Marketplace, and when you do stop in, tell them Leza sent you. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM KYCA, and things got really official in here. We have a couple of chiefs in studio. Of course, Prescott Fire Chief Holger Dura. Good morning and welcome back.
Good morning, Leza. Always great to see you.
Always great to see you as well. And we have Division Chief and Fire Marshal Anthony Valdez back.
Good morning.
Good
Thank
morning.
you for having us.
Yes, I think you were brand new when you came in the first time.
I believe so,
Yeah,
yes.
so you settled in and you running with your hair on fire now. I shouldn't say that to a fire
That's
chief.
funny. Yeah, way to go.
But
I don't know why that came out, but
There's
Pretty
burning
good description.
restrictions, so
so no, they're not.
none of that.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in. You know, I had Conrad in a couple weeks ago. And we're like, we should have a fire safety show every week until the monsoon. And so he's been in telling us all about, being fire-wise and defensible space and what he can do to help and what the city can do to help. And so he had to take the day off today. So you guys are in. And I thought we would just start off with just an update on Proposition 478. You want to give us an update?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay.
as you know, the city's right now in getting ready for the tentative budget adoption. So we're currently having a lot of conversations about 478 and how things are going. The big thing really for folks to know is we are moving. There's money already getting expended. We put a 40-hour fire engine on the street last August because we needed to make those response times come down.
Right.
Long before we ever had the station. But on the stations, we're making great progress. We have designs on 2 out of the 3 that immediately will get built.
Okay.
And then this week, we're going to get designs for the 3rd one.
Wow.
And we're probably going to announce the contractor that's going to build the stations here within the next 3 to 4 weeks. That's all really exciting progress. And I know PD is lockstep with us, making the same kind of progress on the property and evidence facility, as well as trying to make sure that they get all those officer positions that 478 called for filled.
Wonderful.
And they've really got some exciting things happening on that side of the public safety aisle, too. So.
That's great. We need it all. So we're glad that you're working hard. Do we have a prospective date for building of the
Yeah,
station?
so what we're looking for is opening right now, tentatively planned for summer of 2028.
Okay.
So, and while that seems a long time away, when you're talking about capital construction like that,
Right.
we're going lightning speed,
Good.
which as fast as we can safely. These are 50 to 75-year facilities.
Yes.
So we don't rush it too fast,
Right.
but it's been so far behind. So yes, summer of 28 coming to Prescott.
Wonderful.
So,
That is great news that you're sharing
Yeah.
this morning. And then you said that we should talk about the fire danger, of course. I mean, and the Wildland Urban Interface Code. I don't know what that is, Chief Valdez. You want to fill me in?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Wildland Urban Interface Code is a code that's been adopted by the City of Prescott since 2002.
Okay.
The City of Prescott actually adopted this code as early adopters. The first edition came out in 2000, and it was not much bigger than a pamphlet.
Is that right?
It has grown a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's still probably one of the smallest codes that we adopt, but it's very a critical one. And so what it does is it just allows us the opportunity to make our community a little bit more resilient as we build new structures within the city, as far as fire-resistant construction for the exteriors of the homes. Unfortunately, in the last 10 years around the country, we've seen a tremendous amount of tragic wildfires that have turned into urban conflagrations, and this code is intended to help reduce that if that were to occur in our community.
Right.
Either reduce it from happening to begin with, and or mitigating the overall loss if we do have a large wildfire in similar circumstances.
Right.
So it's a pretty big achievement for the city. We currently had been enforcing the 2012 edition, and we moved to the 2024 edition. And this is a pretty big accomplishment, like I said, because it brings us into a little bit more modern code technology and modern construction practices and so forth. So,
Right.
And then just one other thing to mention is it also is kind of a three-prong approach as the code works with the construction side of things, and one of the more critical ones is the vegetation management component as well.
Okay.
Because we know from the science and the research that's occurred recently that the vegetation management of the property in correlation with the fire-resistant construction aspects of the structures is the two components that make a significant reduction in the overall wildfire risk when we do have a wildfire occur.
Right. And that goes along with what the city offers as far as inspecting your property, right? And Conrad told us last time he was on that the demand for that has gone way down compared to last year.
Well,
So
yeah.
people aren't utilizing that service as
think
much
it's
as they could
cyclical.
be.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, I think
You-
it's cyclical.
But are you surprised after the big wildfire in California last year
Mm.
that people aren't more top of mind with it here?
I'm always not surprised, if that makes sense. But before I go there, I do want to put another button on this because he's
Yes.
being extraordinarily humble right
Okay,
now,
all
which is
right.
completely understandable. So what the Wildland Urban Interface Code adoption represented for this community was really a victory all the way around in terms of outreach to our stakeholders, our community, working with our builders community like YCCA, our elected officials. It was really well done. And the reason that I want to highlight that is one change that we had from the 2012 code to the 2018 code is in 2012, we had something called the WUI map, which applied to about 80% of the city. And in those 80% areas, the entire code applied. We couldn't really do any modification of it. The 2024 code allowed us to, with some technology and some computer modeling,
Right.
actually, that Chief Valdez and his team are working on right now, to be able to apply that much more pinpoint where it actually matters. So instead of having somebody that's not, let's say, living in Hasayampa do the entire code series, it actually only applies the portions of the code that we know scientifically and data proven are actually going to have an impact on reducing that wildfire risk. So it balances, I think, the way that we enforce things in a much more responsible way. Definitely council like that. You can imagine YCCA like
Sure.
that.
Yes.
And that is a almost year-long process that Chief Valdez and his team led. So I just want to give him a quick shout out here.
Nice.
It is definitely an accomplishment. We're one of the first communities in the country that has this kind of application. We know, for instance, Sedona and Flagstaff are looking to us to see how'd y'all do that in a
Right.
way.
Sure.
And I just, again, want to commend him and all of our community partners, including Sandy Griffiths, that really worked hard for a lot of time to get that done.
Wonderful.
Now, in terms of the cyclical nature, I think some of that was spurred on by the insurance
Right.
industry
Sure,
issues that we
sure.
had. Those are still there, but a lot of the folks that got their first initial dose of shock, right,
Right.
hopefully have had some luck with that. And, of course, I wish we could clone Conrad and get about 10 of them
Right.
because, you know, he's definitely being modest. He is so busy when those inspections come in. And, you know, I definitely want the community to know if you have the need for an inspection, we will come out and do a Firewise inspection with you. If you're interested in volunteering, we always have Firewise classes that get put on. So if you're in your HOA and you you want to work with Yavapai Firewise and get involved in that, that's also a great avenue. We need help from the community. It's not just, hey, can the fire department come take care of my problem? We need that engagement from folks to actually go out there, learn that with us, and help us keep this community safe. So.
Right, absolutely. If somebody wanted to be part of it and volunteer, or if they want to sign up for it and have you come out to their home, they just go to the website?
So for us, yes. If you want us to have an inspection, definitely do that. If you're in an HOA that has Firewise, and you'll know that through your HOA newsletters, contact your Firewise chair. They are always looking for help.
Okay.
And the more people we can get involved in that, the better it is all the way around.
Right. Very good. Very good. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more with Chief Dura and Chief Valdez here on Leza Live. Stay with us. Okay, ladies, when's the last time you made an appointment for yourself? Not your kids, husband, parents, not the dog, you. And if you're smiling right now because you honestly can't remember, you're not alone. Women are incredible at taking care of everybody else, but the truth is you can't keep pouring into everyone around you if your cup is running empty. That's why I recommend Prescott Women's Clinic. This is more than health care. This is compassionate care, personalized attention, real conversations, and providers who make you feel like a priority. And if you've been putting off that annual exam or that wellness visit, don't wait another month. Don't put you on hold. Give them a call today, 928-778-4300, or you can make that appointment online at PrescottWomen'sClinic.com. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM, KYCA. My guest this morning, Prescott Fire Chief Holger Dura and Division Chief and Fire Marshal Anthony Valdez. Now, you just told us a little bit about the adopting the new code, the Wildland Building Code, right? That's the name of it.
The Wildfire Urban Interface Code.
Wildfire Urban Interface Area. Now, didn't you have an acronym for that?
The IWIC.
Yeah, the IWIC. Okay, very good. Well, let's talk a little bit more about that. Does the new code affect homeowners that already have a home here in the area?
Yeah, so the code doesn't have any retroactive provisions to where we're going to come out and ask homeowners to upgrade their homes for the construction or what have you.
Okay.
One of the enhancements that we did incorporate into this code adoption that was a little bit, what I think is a little bit restrictive in the previous code adoption, was for smaller projects that existing homeowners are trying to do. So if you were to replace a deck that's aging or needing repairs or so forth, after it met a certain threshold, it was required to meet the current adopted code. So if you have a 1980s home and you're trying to replace a 30, 40-year-old deck, and just to make it safer and add some enhancements to it, you were required to bring that particular element up to the full restrictive code of the adopted edition today.
Okay.
And so that was a little challenging for a lot of folks because now it was going to have to meet 1-hour fire resistive construction materials and upgrading the structural components and so forth. And we just found a lot of challenges with that. And then once we did a little bit of research and looked into the science and so forth, it was a little revealing that adding a fire resistive deck to a 1980s home that wasn't built to the IWUIC standards back then because it didn't exist.
Right.
We weren't really meeting the exact intent of what we were trying to do in reducing that risk in our community. And it was also creating a lot more difficulties for our homeowners.
Sure.
And so moving forward in this code adoption, under certain thresholds, you are able to replace that aging deck and so forth, add a small patio room, add a small addition to the residence and so forth without having to meet the current code from a construction standpoint. You are required to still meet the vegetation management components or the fire-wise defensible space as most people know it to be.
Yeah.
And so that would still be a requirement of the permit, but not the actual fire-resistive construction provisions.
Okay.
So that was our effort to kind of make more sense of the code and allow homeowners to be a little bit more successful in navigating that process.
Very nice. Very nice. Can you expand a little bit about the defensible space and the fire-wise?
Yeah, so the code and national standards are getting a lot more refined as far as defensible space goes. Again, with a lot of that research and data that we're getting out of these national testing laboratories is providing a lot of good information as to how we need to meet those defensible space requirements. And I know Conrad has been speaking with you about that, and he is by far the expert on that topic.
Right.
But right now, one of the big things that we are really trying to accomplish is zero combustible material within 5 feet of the residence. That includes trash cans, firewood piles, vegetation, live or not, and so forth, because we know that that is one of the most critical zones as to when we have a wildfire approach a structure, either from ember casts and or direct flame impingement that has a direct impact on the outcome of that survivability of that structure.
Right.
And so removing that, all
Just
the
5
combustible
feet,
material,
huh?
5 feet.
I feel like it should be further, but
there's
best.
There's stuff further out. It's just literally
Yeah.
5 feet of nothing.
Yeah.
We know that has the greatest impact
Okay.
on the survivability of the house or the structure in general. However, then you have your 5 to 30 feet. And so that is also providing vegetation to where if you were to have a fire, it stays as a ground level fire and it doesn't get into a canopy of trees if you have trees, or if you have dense bush, such as juniper bushes or so forth around the structure. We know that those are highly volatile fuels.
Sure.
And so limiting the what we call the heat energy released from those vegetation materials that then can catch the structure on fire. So again, it's a kind of a progressive approach to it, so that because those also can produce embers, and if you have again combustible materials within 5 feet of the house,
Right.
and then you have densely populated bushes around in that, let's say 5 to 10 foot mark, then it's just a recipe for disaster as you move forward with that.
Absolutely. Well, I know my whole neighborhood, everybody's been so busy. I live in the mountain club in the Pines. And so it was interesting. Conrad mentioned the people that live in the grasses or the fields, they say, well, I live in the fields. But Conrad said those situations are just as important. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, so both of us are from Colorado, as you know. Right before I departed here for Prescott, the Marshall Fire hit just outside of Boulder, Colorado. And most people think Boulder, Colorado has flat irons and pine trees, kind of like what you just mentioned. That fire moved almost entirely through a grass fuel model. And once it was a wind-driven event, 80, 90, almost 100 mile an hour gusts sometimes. On December 30th, I believe, is when it was. Yeah, and we're talking burning across 3-lane each-way highway through a golf course, burning down 1,000 homes. everyone in Yavapai County, regardless of where you live, are in the Wildland Urban Interface Code. And that's actually, Wildland Urban Interface, that was actually one of the big things to the code adoption that we wanted to make sure we would be disingenuous if we said it doesn't apply to certain parts of this community. Because if you are in Arizona, technically even, I mean, maybe some downtown parts of Phoenix might make an argument, but basically everywhere else, especially here in beautiful Yavapai County, you're in the Wildland Urban Interface. It's just the way that it is. And grasses can move much quicker. And for us, that's a real critical thing. When a pine tree catches on fire, a lot of people notice it torches. That's actually the technical term. Grasses are usually on windy days that move extremely quick. And so our emergency notification, our ability to evacuate people is definitely hampered. And that's something that I think people need to understand. If you're living, let's say, north around the airport, Deep Bell Ranch areas, you're in the Wildland Urban Interface and you're in a very fast-moving fuel model.
Yes, absolutely. So they need to be fire-wise as well and have 100%. Their defensible space just like I do.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, you wanted to talk a little bit about the, the CWPP.
We're just full of acronyms today.
It's not easy to follow them all, but but tell us what that is.
Yeah, so that's the Community Wildfire Protection Plan,
Okay.
And it's a critical plan for our community in order for us to understand our true fire risk as far as wildfire goes, as well as bring partnerships with all of the stakeholders. What the important thing is the CWPP's model is based in community and stakeholder input. It is not the fire department's plan.
Okay.
It is critical that we have all the stakeholders at the table providing us guidance and direction as to what they see as the risks, as well as getting buy-in to help us mitigate those risks once that plan is established. So this is a coordinated effort with our great partner, Central Arizona Fire and Medical Authority, or CAFMA. I'll add another acronym for you.
There you go. I know that one.
There you go.
It's a very elaborate plan that is going to take us several months. We're looking at hopefully getting it done in about 18 months.
Okay.
But that's because we involve a lot of stakeholdership and discussions and conversations. We have a team of core stakeholders or partners between our emergency management folks in the county, our federal and state wildfire suppression folks, and so forth, as well as obviously it's being headed up by a CAFMA battalion chief, and then of course our dear Conrad Jackson. And so they're the two team leads for that. And we currently have a survey out on all of our social media. We also sent a press release out, so it's been out in the media as best as we can. We really, really encourage everyone to take the opportunity to answer that survey, because that is very critical in helping our roadmap as we move forward with the plan.
Okay.
So we please encourage everyone to do so.
Okay. And what kind of questions will be on that survey?
It just speaks to a little bit of demographic information as far as where you live, how, what kind of conditions and areas as it relates to the wildfire risk. It also talks about what do you see as like the priorities as to how we can mitigate that risk and so forth. It's not a long survey. I think it takes about 10 to 12 minutes to complete, and but it is just a critical component of us to guide how we move forward with it.
Okay. Can people find that survey on the website?
Yep, it is available on our website. It's available.
So you can be proactive to look for it.
Absolutely. It's available on our website. It's available on our social media. It's also available on CAFMA's website and social media as well.
Okay, very good. We have to take our last break. When we come back, more with the Chiefs here on Leza Live. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's Leza Live on the News 103.5 FM KYCA. I have Prescott Fire Chief Holger Dura and Division Chief and Fire Marshal Anthony Valdez in this morning. We have to talk about fire restrictions. We're in stage 1, and everybody is pretty much aware of that. Just kind of give us a brief description of what stage 1 is.
Yeah, so stage 1 is our initial stage that we have prior to going into stage 2, which is a lot more restrictive.
Okay.
Stage 1 allows for a few activities that are allowed, but it does prohibit smoking outside, firearm use outside, and then any kind of ember-producing fires that may be having those embers cast out to the neighboring vegetation and other combustible materials.
Okay.
But you're allowed to have like LPG fires and so forth. You're able to use those for cooking purposes and so forth. So it doesn't completely limit you, but does definitely, hopefully, heighten everyone's awareness of how critical it is to follow those restrictions.
Do we know when stage 2 will go into effect, or is it depends on the conditions?
It really depends on the conditions. But I will say that we're already in very high rating of our fire restrictions. Our fire risk.
Yes.
And so really there's the next level is extreme.
Okay.
So that's a little concerning.
Yes.
And as I'm sure most people monitor the weather forecasts, we are now in summer. We are now in the 80s and low 90s for the remainder of the month. And there's really not any precipitation forecasted in the near future. So it would not be surprising if by the time we get into the July 4th area, we may be in stage 2 restrictions.
Well, I hope we are. If anybody cares about my opinion, let's go. Let's talk about fireworks. I mean, we're June 1st. People are going to be getting excited to celebrate the 250th celebration on July 4th this year. Talk about fireworks.
Yeah, absolutely. So within the fire restrictions, that's actually one of the components I didn't think of, but fireworks are prohibited.
Okay.
In the city of Prescott anyway, fireworks are pretty well regulated anyway, just because that risk is there 365 days a year. And so, but there's varying levels of fireworks by definition. There's the permissible consumer fireworks, display fireworks, and so forth. So it gets a little complex because we are regulated by the Arizona revised statutes on fireworks, as well as we have a local city ordinance that's adopted within the city as well. In addition to the fire code also regulates fireworks. So there's a fair amount of regulation with that, but essentially there are novelty items that are allowed to be used in the city of Prescott, which is pretty limited to, like little glow, like the worms.
Sure.
The sparklers are included in that, and sparklers are probably the only item that resembles really a traditional firework that is allowed in the city.
Allowed. Okay.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And so, but otherwise, all other fireworks are restricted
Right.
and prohibited within the city.
Okay, very good. And we just have about a minute left, so we should talk about the apps. Conrad tells us which ones. The Genesee.
Genesis,
Protect,
yeah.
Genesis
Actually,
Yes.
Chief Valdez has great information on that as well.
Why don't you tell people what they need to download and be ready for?
Yep, the Genesis app is a critical app that we use for evacuation messaging, and then our Smart 911 app as well, otherwise known as Rave. And so they work collaboratively together. Rave is a generic emergency notification system that we use for all emergencies, and then Genesis is specific to our evacuation. So we combine the two when we do get into that unfortunate situation if we do need to evacuate.
Okay.
However, Rave or Smart 911, it's marketed either way, is our generic emergency notification system. So it will send out messages regarding hazardous material spills or police activity where people need to shelter in place or what have you.
And that's just RAVE when we look
RAVE,
for it? Because
correct.
that's the first I've heard of that one.
Yeah, Smart 911 is probably what you're going to see in your app store.
Okay. I appreciate you both so much. Keep up the good work, keeping everybody safe, and everybody needs to do their part. So everybody, do your part.
Yes, please.
Yes, thanks for coming in.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.